Sacrarium Pario. I believe that's how it's pronounced. This, I believe, will be part 3. So, we're going to pick up where we left off in the last part. We haven't touched this game since last month. It's been well over a month since we touched this game, so hopefully we can get some reasonable progress in this one. Let's see, I expected to see them emerge from the path, but Violo stepped out of a large bush of mixed flowers instead. He held some kind of metal rack in his hands, muscles and nerves carefully pinned on it to stretch them out. My sunshine. Violo pouted while he whined. You were ignoring me.
What?
Was I? Vivere blinked in confusion, straightening his spine. His eyes flickered back and forth a few times.
My love.
I see. I noticed. I was distracted. Sorry, my love. Alright. Violo huffed and moved to sit on... I want to get this name right. Vivere's lap. The taller man is easily moved into a position to make the shorter one more comfortable. Vivere wrapped one strong arm around Violo's waist, and Violo crossed his legs while leaning back against Vivere's chest. Distracted. In a good way, it seems. I'm not being told about scattered guest body parts. Surprisingly so. Vivere brushed his spare hand through Violo's hair. Caught me off guard, truly. The fondness and affection sharpened into annoyance when he seemed to remember I was there. Our conversation just ended. I completed my observations. Don't forget to record them. I won't. Brown, off with you. I mean, if you want to stay and listen to us discuss the unique magical tensile strength in these ligaments, feel free to. I would rather not. Violo shrugged. Good day. Stood up and shuffled away. Vivere's new interest had faded away the moment Violo disappeared. Difficult to navigate out of the garden without a guide, but I managed. Another of the two-legged flesh abominations waited for me in the castle. I hoped I'd be able to explore some more, but the creature corralled me to walking where it wanted me to. In the end, I found myself back in my current room. The door shut behind me, and I could still hear the thing whizzing on the other side of the door. My free roaming had been noted. I won't be able to go out anymore today. I refused to be unproductive. I searched around the room for something sharp. Then I found a piece of furniture I could move with a little noise. In a few minutes I had 6 circles with 2 crossed out drawn on the back. 4 more days to curry favor if I wanted to survive this first week. 4 more days to try and find a way out if I wanted to risk it. I stared at the countdown and sighed. Sleeping remained difficult. Didn't expect to find people looming over me while I slept, but the sight shouldn't have been surprising.
Hello.
You're awake.
Hello!
Good morning. How long have you two been here? Here, shared a look. We don't know. I feel like forever, but our sense of time is extremely broken. It's been a while since we had a guest alive long enough for longer increments of time to pass. An hour or 2? Maybe. I'm not sure. I groaned and sat up, rubbing at my eyes. Why didn't you wake me up? Mortals need sleep, or we begin to degrade. Can't wake you up willy-nilly, because we feel like it. Couldn't you have waited somewhere else? We got caught up talking. The two shrugged in unison. They felt to keep my emotions off my face. What do you desire? We need to move the conversation along. For you to join us for meals. Somehow I felt even more ridiculous waking up to them in my room. Pardon? Vivere leaned over and snapped his fingers near my ear. I flinched at the sound and rolled away from the pair. That hurt. Your hearing has begun to fade. I didn't ask out of the understanding, I asked out of confusion. You want to take meals with me? Yes. Yeah. Vivere rolled his eyes. Okay. Join us. My morning addled mind took a few seconds to catch up. I didn't exactly have a choice. They dragged me along even if I said no. At least have some time to wash my face in private. Perry actually left me to wake up. Kind of. I stepped aside and found them waiting on me, body language indicating a conversation I couldn't hear.
Fantastic!
Here you are. Come on. Violo babbled the entire walk through the hallway. He asked me to name things, what company did I work for, where was my active zone. I almost felt like a job interview. Vivere, no, it's not Vivere, it's Vivere, okay. Didn't comment at all. He observed Violo badgering me like it was nothing new. The dining room they brought me to had been recently cleaned. It smelled of cleaning mixtures and polish. Will you two not eat? I asked a question after being sat down across from them. We eat in our bedroom. I'm not letting you in there yet. Ah. The two did eat alongside me, Yellow chatting up a storm. Some level it was impressive how much one little man could talk. Vivere idly sat by, commenting every now and then, his dark eyes heavy on me when not looking lovingly at Violo. I assume good results are the reason for this effort. I had to confirm my own suspicions in the moment of quiet. Good enough. Nothing particularly noteworthy. Violo snapped his fingers and pointed at me while he clarified.
I made the right choice.
Not bad either though. Satisfactory. Progress is being made, and that's what's most important. The smile became a bit dangerous. So glad and a little sad you aren't obstinate. On one hand, breaking the area of mercenaries is fun. The other, it is nice to be able to make progress with less effort. Vivere hummed. Keep it up. It makes your lives easier if you do. Alright. However that's done. The rest of the conversation felt more like a little bizarre. I was able to ask more about the island and the blood waters, and they actually gave me answers. Most of what I learned confirmed that they're trying to swim away would be a death sentence. Hell's the island alone, then enough things that would the island alone has enough things that would kill me before I even touch the water. I mentally cataloged every piece of information they gave me. In the end, the pair left first, ever busy. Once I finished eating, I didn't have a creature ready. They hurried me back to my room. Let's provide opportunity to explore this place more. Let's get to exploring then. Exploration remained slow and cautious. While the odd creatures running around didn't seem hostile, I refused to chance it. I focused on scavenging for useful items. Thick nail, few pieces of paper, some thick sticks I burned to make charcoal. In about 2 hours, I was finally able to draw out a map of sorts. I had to be extra cautious and I smeared the charcoal while sealant to hold it in place. It was better than relying on memory alone. In fact, my new map had me realize something horrible. The routes were inconsistent. I tested it by trying to repeat paths only to know that doors and hallways shifted. Close observation let me guess the castle shifted to reduce travel time for aberrations. Each shift only happened after I saw one leave an area, so I was pretty confident that was the case. I crouched near a door, tired from the awkward shuffling. I went through the maps while I thought. The map would be inconsistent, but what if the creatures had a schedule? If they did, I could gauge the timing and make predictions, but that would take days to test. Days I didn't have. Oh! A loud bang followed by a series of thudding interrupted my thinking. The door I sat beside fell open, books flying out. Even without my third eye, I could taste the energy shift in the air. The lights in the hall extinguished into nothing. The air tasted like copper and dirt. The overwhelming smell of sweet flowers had me holding my shirt over my mouth and nose. Out of my business? The roar shook the air enough I almost fell over. You're still nitpicking every goddamn thing I do. Like it's your job. Well, I hate to break it to you, little he. While Amare might call your little precious ego, a mere genius is nothing in the face of a prodigy. Especially a spineless, pacifistic, hypocritical one doesn't have the balls to do what needs to be done. And the voice actually yelled back at him. I've told you once and I will tell you again. Anyone with a saw can do the needlessly brutal task you call work. The accent was thick, foreign, and strange. Icy contempt dripped from each word. It takes no skill to be a butcher. There is enough. The woman's voice cut through the argument. She also had an accent, but this one I could place. It sounded like an older, whatever that is. Maybe possibly a Vivere. Specific dialect sound unlike any I've heard. Curiosity had me leaning in to hear her more. Yemos, take your high horse to the stable and leave unless you intend on backing up what you're throwing down. Violo, calm yourself down now. Shockwave you sent off shook one of my territories. And then my babysitter in the car. I assure you that I don't want to be, but even Amare has noted that the two of you are getting nothing done. I heard two annoyed groans. I sat dumbfounded, Yemos in the car, where names I only heard in passing from foreigners. People only know their local living god, if they had one. I think the three of them talk was unheard of. My apologies in the car. I know you have other things you want to do. Oh, now you're being a kiss ass. Fucking Violo's speech wasn't quiet enough for his frustrated rant. I couldn't hear him. General volume of the conversation faded as well, leaving me awkwardly crouched by the door. It's possible for Yemos in the car to appear here physically. They were bound to their prisons, but bar talking mirrors have become very popular in the past 5 years. If Violo had one, I could call for help. I gathered the items I dropped and hurried back to my room. Getting called listening in would be a death sentence. I was proud the pair summoned me to lunch. Two greeted me warmly. The room had been tidied up a bit and a few extra candles had been lit. Was the food alright? Our chef was broody today. He tends to oversalt things when annoyed. It's fine to me. And honestly, the food I had here was far fancier than anything I'd ever eaten before. Some part of me had been expecting slop and dirty water, but no. Everything had a rich taste and pleasant texture. Only fine? I might have to break his hands again. I told him to impress. Violo rolled his eyes. Hundreds of years can fail to culture even the most stubborn of men, I guess. Is the chef a prisoner? Not like you. He lost his form a long time ago. Rightfully so. Violo's mood darkened. He chewed on his goblet a bit, smile cracking the metal with his teeth. Please don't feel any pity for him. If you think I'm a monster, he'd be the devil himself. Which is why we shouldn't talk about him any longer. How's your mattress felt? Not too rough. Her asked me more about the conditions of my care. It was sad to admit that beyond being there hostage and chained up, I rarely lived better. Couldn't count how many times I'd sleep on the streets and starve for days. I'd gone weeks without bathing before, and water always took priority over food. Here, the bed was soft even if the room was dusty. Food came consistently, and I always had water available. The pathetic reality of it all had me sighing. Pair returned to work, and I snuck away back into the study. Violo wasn't there. Probably wouldn't last for long. I hurried into the room and began to poke around, trying to ignore all the gore. My mind indexed all the information I had on magic and recent magical items or discoveries. Most of the mirrors used mercury or obsidian, so I looked for those items. The messy room always tripped me up a few times, but I stayed on my feet. The concern I had beyond speed was minimizing signs I was there. When leaving magical traces of innocuous things around can make him suspicious. My heartbeat continued to ramp up with my growing fear and frustration. Fuck. Damn it, what? I rested against a grimy bit of glowing glass near the back to catch my breath. Heard them. I know I did. I punched the metal my hand was pressed against. The motion had the chains of my wrist clattering against it. Pain lanced through me while the runes on the chains flared. I recoiled back from the slab of glass only to realize that under the grime, I saw my own wincing face. Then a pair of solid gold eyes opened into space. I froze. I thought I sensed something strange. The eyes trailed down to my wrist. Sleeves and chains I gave them. I really should have fixed the open energy circuit problem. The voice let out a fond sigh. Really, they're both so reckless. How? The question sounded dumb even to my ears. How could they fix the problem? Or how did I know you were here? I hear a smile in their voice. My ability to talk dwindled down to nothing. The voice let out a chuckle. I assume you got too close, and the chains attempted to suppress the magic of the mirror, caused a disturbance in mine. The thing it did too. Violo mentioned finding something interesting. I did not expect it to be a live specimen. Finally, my mic caught up to the situation at hand. His voice spoke of Violo sadly and fondly. Didn't match the other two I'd heard today, nor was it not Vivere, but I'll just say, I guess Vivere, yeah. Amare? The voice replied confidently and calmly. Yes. Put my heart dropped into my stomach. For a moment, hope and despair warred within me. Are you all in contact? Yes. In the end, desperation won. Even if it would be futile, I had to ask. Please help me. The golden eyes narrowed a bit. Afraid that will be a bit complicated. Give me a moment. The eyes faded. No. I choked back a noise of fear. They said to wait, so I bit my lip and waited. Golden eyes returned, accompanied by icy blue ones and fiery orange ones. One of your captives made it to the top floor. How are you not dead, human? Wait, I'm not one of their usual guests. Could have made this mistake, have them mistake me for the pair's usual prey. Never helped me. What? He violated his own code. New surprise baffled me. This is out of character. Is he sick? This is strange. Either way, it doesn't matter. He's not allowed to take you outside of the select types we've allowed. I'll send the boat immediately. Relief swelled up in my chest. Absolutely not. Might as well have ripped my heart out. But why? I'm eager to hear the reasoning as well. You can't be serious. Begin with... The hand reached out of the mirror. It was made of golden light, a bronze bangle hanging on his wrist. The hand snapped before retreating. To make sure Violo's observers, nothing interesting to report. Now, to the reasoning why sending a boat in it would be foolish. It'd never make it. My ships have some of the best crews in the world. All crews at the mercy of nature. Right now the blood wire is having an energy swell in response to Violo's agitation. It's my fault? Yes. Enough. The brewing squabble died quickly. Forming riptide, the hurricane would destroy any ship passing through. It's assuming Violo doesn't get his hands on them first. Beyond that, we could not get into any altercation with the pair. The fight would drown at least 6 small islands, killing thousands of people. We can't ignore this violation. I'm not saying we ignore it, I'm saying we be careful. Stop putting those words in their mouth, Emos. There was silence. Avoiding confrontation will be better. Not that your opinion matters much. You were not strong enough to do anything here. Blue eyes narrowed, but he didn't challenge her. Why did you even call him here, Amare? Violo, so you think you can make her immortal if I helped you? I could, but I refused. My jaw dropped. He was swift to explain. There's a mercy for you, I swear. Who knows what Violo and Vivere would do if I did that. They wanted the spell for years. Amare let out a disappointed sigh. You can leave now, little snowball. Perhaps Nikara was correct. They do not have the experience needed to comment further. But, no buts. Off with you. Stop being stubborn. Amare and I will handle this. The weary sigh, the icy eyes faded. Silence reigned until Nikara broke it. What are we gonna do? Send some of your people to brace the islands nearby. Should an altercation occur. That way we can try to prevent the islands from sinking due to the backlash. In the meantime, I'll begin to make a path for our ship to sneak in by convincing some of the elements to lie. The other eyes locked onto my own. This will take time. We cannot act rashly. You're hoping for a stealth mission then? Yes, once Trav is ready, your men can race to the island. Mortal, when this time comes, we must find a way to the beach. Pario might be small, but it's still big enough I could miss the ship. Don't worry, I'll also be working to get you a guide. While we cannot rush in like heroes, I do not intend to leave you there forever. You gotta keep your head down though. Corpse cannot run, and we can't protect you if you push their buttons. How long? I'm uncertain. Surge is distorting everything. I felt. Understanding. Let's see, I'll try. My stomach rolled. I think I have some time. Violo wants to poke around in me some more. A magical void of some kind. He just started his research. A void? It's not what he's supposed to be looking to, right? Mary was silent for a time. See what? Mary, you know I dislike it when you're vague. Sorry. Mary let out a faint sigh. Not faint, but a faint laugh. Surprised he hadn't told me about this yet. It's relevant to the conversation at hand. You're correct that the research should buy you some time, but do not think it will be enough. You need to at least curry your neutral feelings from them. Do your best to keep them from hating you. Remember, head down, nice thoughts out loud only. We'll begin to work to rescue you immediately. For now, you must leave. Violo will be suspicious if we talk for any longer. Stay safe. If you can't do that, at least stay alive. I nodded and watched her eyes fade away. No other option, I snuck out of Violo's study and returned to my room. Well, we got a rescue coming, yay! Tried another X onto the circles, then added a few more circles to my tracker. One more day down with a known amount of time remaining. I was hoping that they keep us alive, but I guess our fate is somewhat sealed after the research is done. It's hard getting to sleep that night. After I tossed and turned, eventually forced myself to sleep. Perfect nightmares of hauling myself through blood and fire tormented me. Hands outstretched, pulled away. Kind smiles turned into vicious grins. Each death forced me into a gasping awake. Issues of today were nothing compared to the coffin stacked onto my past. It was no surprise my new stress made my nightmares worse. I managed to force myself asleep each time, but my body felt worse and worse. I woke the next morning with nothing new in my room. Even looking closer, I saw no sign of someone poking around. It made me wonder how much I was being monitored. I reached inwards out of habit and bit back a groan in frustration of finding nothing. Not having access to my third eye felt maddening. I never gone this long without it. The thing I missed the most had to be contact with elementals. Even when humans cast me aside, I could always reach out to them. Elementals didn't understand betrayal. They kept their word and never lied. The purity found within the natural order had always been comforting. Taste of blood caught me off guard. Losing my jaw and realized I'd been biting my lip. Held my shirt up to my new wound and sighed. Sitting still solves nothing. I grabbed my map in progress, determined to see what paths I could confirm. My plans were interrupted the moment I opened the door to find the wheezing melted beast from before. I was back and tossed my map aside. The beast surged forward, one hand snagging my shirt. It tugged on my shirt, forcing me to take a step. Creature repeated the motion to lead me along. I was happy it didn't carry me this time. I observed the hallways during the walk. The doors and halls were in the same position they were the last time. In fact, I saw the exact same creatures walking the same paths. There was a schedule. I needed to learn it. Creatures nudged me towards the familiar study door. It opened automatically, and the floor below me kicked up at my heel until I moved aside. Violo stood, not a few tables pushed together.
Hello.
Violo didn't look up from his work. Where there was another person from the crew, but the body shape didn't match. It was also too old, so my nerves and all the signs of death. I smelled preservation potions mixed into the sense of death and decay. Is that a corpse? Yes, it arrived last night, so I've been working on it. Why? A new degenerative disease has appeared. We're certain of its origins, but it's killed everyone that has contracted it. Luckily, it seems to be a natural phenomena, separate from God's. That means I should be able to develop a treatment. Why? Because it's killing people? Do I need another reason? Oh. It's surprising, isn't it? A bit. This is my most common type of research. Humans dislike reading around corpses, so this work falls to me. Don't worry, you won't be killed yet. That'd be wasteful. God, killing you puts all research on a time limit. Might continue due to inconvenience then. That's insane. So yeah, we're not in good we're not in a good spot right now. It was a small mercy. It would also be rude to punish you when you're doing good thus far. Sure, you may not be impressive, but you're getting passing remarks. I'm above assigning high thresholds for no reason. Minimum may be boring, but it's also that I need from you. I hope to be useful. That was the only way to survive. You have been thus far. I hope you'll continue to be. It'd be a shame if you falter now. I've got no track. You're distracting. My apologies. He laughed. Better distracting than boring, I say. Anyways.
Work is never done.
I called you here for the next step of the experiment. I want to determine what are the effects of your soul's unique attributes also apply to your body. Normally I'd run a test on your whole body. The nature of your condition makes that impossible. Since you can't track anything once it's inside me. Exactly. He clapped his hands in delight. I'm glad you follow. I thought I'd have to explain in detail. You want to cut off pieces of me? Yes. I fill them back in though. Promise. Future will be clean as well. I can't have you dying of an infection. I saw the growing lump in my throat. What do you want from me? Skin samples, bone samples in the form of new teeth, hair samples, blood samples, and a few organ shavings. Oh. How in the world are you going to do that without killing me? Magic, of course. You'll be a bit stiff afterwards, so you can have lunch in your room. He brushed off my concern like it was nothing. Will it hurt? No getting out of this. Violo would take them whether I wanted him to or not. I didn't want to deal with any more pain. Some residual stiffness from patching you up is unavoidable, but I can make sure to minimize the pain. He held his hand out, mouthing something. He watched as various bottles began to move towards us. Here in the list your body not responding to potions or other physical medicines? Magic potions never worked. Not enough this energy to surpass your ability to absorb it, my guess anyways. What about non-magical mixtures? Those have worked. Have to be careful though, addiction is common for a lot of pain medicine. That it is. I'm sure you use the standard rotation most mercs use. Well, I was surprised knowing that he knew about the rotation pattern. Some of the plants were so addictive that you could only have them once or twice a year safely. Thus, most of the mercenaries in this area followed the path that made sure the stronger ones were available during our work season peaks. I do. We should be able to use Caparite grass and mercy blood if my sense of time isn't too far off. It isn't. Good. I never know for sure. The pattern? At time. Give me a moment to make the mixture. Just into a low padded table. Settle down over there. I did so observing Violo. He never double checked anything, but I doubted he needed to. The correct items would walk themselves into his hands. The motions were precise in practice. It was odd seeing him so still and serene. Usually his energy had him bouncing in place, but he spared no extra movement while working. Here we are. This is the correct dose for someone of your sex, weight, and height. I promise. He walked over and held out a cup. Mirror muddy red mixture had small mercurial blood petals swirling in it. You added the petals? Of course. The mixture is bitter otherwise. Thank you. Drink up. I downed the potion with ease. The cup hopped out of my hand and wobbled away. Oh, Violo nudged me to lay back. Once I did so, he hovered over my head, hand to my face. Now sleep. Drowsiness began building me. It wove through my body, pushing me into darkness. Okay. Alright. For the first time since I arrived, I slept peacefully. Not a single thing disturbed me in the slightest. I woke up slowly, meaning noticed some stiffness in my limbs and grunted. Only a little bit though, nothing compared to my first time here. Welcome back to the world of the living, sleepyhead. Cold hand brushed my forehead. Opened my eyes to find Violo's face still hovered above my own. He sat near the table, looking down at me from where his chin rested on his palm. The other hand idly traced my brow. Not so difficult, is it? No. I tried to frown at how slurred my speech was. Bill noticed my displeasure and laughed. The sensations caused by this mixture are unique, aren't they? My annoyed huff made him laugh more. Poor thing. Patted my shoulder. Thank you for not making this more difficult than it needed to be. Coffee's also helped improve the quality of the samples. Stress can leave permanent issues in them. Glad to, Frustration bubbled within me. Mind knew what it wanted to say, I just couldn't get my mouth to cooperate. Don't worry, I understand. Don't stress yourself out too much. Feel free to go back to sleep. This is all I needed from you today. My sunshine might call for you. It'll be later. It is time to rest up and recover. I managed to nod and tried to sit up. Those dainty yet powerful hands forced my shoulders down. Ah, okay, you stumbling around like a drunkard and killing yourself by accident. Go back to sleep. Look in here. He patted the table gently. We'll get you back to your bed. Okay. Oh, my fight died once I realized I couldn't feel my feet. Break grass and mercy blood made one hell of a drug. Good pet. Rest well. He stepped back and Teal began to walk. Careful swaying motions had me rocking ever so slightly. Closed my eyes and let myself drift off. Recovery from the experiment took longer than I expected. I'd gone in before sunrise, but it was well past midday before I felt confident enough to walk. My jaw ached and there was nothing to write home about though. I took the time to examine my body, curious to see if he left any sign of where he pulled things. Nothing fell out of place, even my mouth felt fine. Couldn't tell which tooth had been regrown. There were no marks on my body, but a few dull aches here and there. I guess where he took his samples from. Definitely took more than he said he would. I passed onto the bed with a sigh, holding my hands together and clenching them. Maybe that would be enough for a bit. I only hoped that he didn't find too much of what he needed. After all, this feeling was the only thing keeping me alive. Damn it all. Figured I'd spend the rest of the day wallowing in self-pity. Vivere had other plans. Okay. He sauntered into the room with no announcement, no knock, and no fanfare.
Oh, you.
I knew you had recovered. To think, my love was saying you'd still be laid out. He huffed. I debated to close my eyes and pretend to sleep. Now he already seen that I was awake. I sat up. What brings you to me? You've earned the right to follow up examination. Be glad. Very few get this far. I nodded. What's the follow-up? More philosophy? No, nothing as fun as philosophy. It'll be a technical exam of sorts. Dang, I like philosophy. Setting up your baselines and your records. Alright? What me? Dust in the dust. Well, dust in the room is bad for me. It did sound a little wheezy. I stood and followed him out of the room. Do you have allergies? No, my lungs have been feeling unwell recently. Alright, Vivere, or... I know it's not Vivere, but it's whatever. Brought me back to this garden. Like last time I saw elementals made of bone and flowers tended to things. Elemental of earth, cat bones came over to dance around Vivere's heels. Moved around it expertly. Those dark clouds gathering off in the distance. There's a storm coming. Here, never. Stormy weather makes my lungs act up, so my love keeps the weather mild. We just out to the sea. Out there, yes. It'll be a hurricane zone for about a day. I never think my power to keep my face from showing what I was thinking. I already had lied about the storm, but did they over-exaggerate how long it lasts? And again, maybe they were estimating it. I get a message with the correct time to them? Probably not. Violo spent most of his time in his study. Besides, even the storms only lasted a while. There could be other issues with the energy that I couldn't sense. Are you ignoring me now? I'm very rested at Vivere, or yeah, have been talking to me. I guess we were ignoring them by accident. In fact, I already moved to sit down at the table with the cat-like creature sitting on his lap. His expression had soured. No, sorry, I got lost in thought. It's a rude thing to do. I'm sorry. You already said that. Stop gathering wool and sit. Cat mouth shut and did so. I'm going to test your general knowledge of magic. Starting easier and moving up. Stare at punishment if I get something wrong. Not inherently, so long as the arrow is down on purpose and I attempt to throw off my exam. I frowned. So let's begin. Let's try and impress. It's part of me cringe while remembering how informal my education was. Much of what I knew were tidbits I picked up from work, but most mercenaries didn't need to recite poetry to do their job. Do my best. I might be off though. It's fine. Very way to weigh my concern. Alright, rather you try and fail than play it safe. It lets me test more things. I'm not in agreement. Or the 4 classifications of ungodly entities. Devils, angels, elementals, and it's a different word officially, but it's just humans. Those, shouldn't there be 5 now?
What?
Vivere raised a brow. Well, Vivere raised a brow. Creations you and Vivere make are on some level, not of the gods, should warrant its own classification. Valid point. The word you were unsure of for humans is mortals. Right, we decay into nothing. Not technically true. Huh? But
As expected.
it is common knowledge to answer. I won't fault you for knowing something only 5 former mortals know. Ah. Good. Who was the first person to tame fire? The sole emperor of the... I can't remember their names. Over the name was... yeah, collection of 30 tribes. Sole emperor was the man who tamed fire and used it to unite the tribes. Then they fought back against rampaging elementals. 45 tribes, everything else was correct. 45? Only 30 dialects though. 15 were lost to history, either by absorption or outright eradication of the speakers. That is also not accessible information. Only specialists would be aware. See. What are the 5 basic types of elementals? Well, I know about this. You mean the common basic or the academic basic? Vivere actually smiled at me. Do you know the academic basic? Kind of. Migratory, transformatory, destructive, constructive, and stabilizing. Vivere actually gave me a small round of applause. What are the common basic? Air, water, fire, earth, and shadow, and light. The last 2 are a pair. Yes, this was proved by Imperium Mage, I think. We thought they were separate before that point. Not Imperium Mage. It was a joke. Whatever that is. Sage. A what? Dead Sand Stripe Order. Oh. Vivere continued the questions. Well, Vivere continued the questions. Anytime I thought I could add something more to my less than stellar answers, I did. Vivere relaxed into the conversation. It was still a very intensive exam, but the air became more casual. Even I relaxed at some point. Good, that's enough. I bit back a sigh of relief. Vivere gave me a weak glare. You were determined to make a good showing for yourself, aren't you? I figured it was that or die, so yes. How annoying. I really wanted to hate you. I'm sorry that I made that difficult. He laughed. That's an odd thing to apologize for. Vivere reached down and grabbed my chin. Looking at you closer, you weren't an eyesore to look at either. There is some deeper value in keeping you around. My body grew warm under the attention. You just call me attractive. Yes, I did. Vivere released my face. Violo okay with this? Probably not. Though if you caught his attention too, well, sharing is an important virtue. I gasped at him. He just chuckled. Vivere stood up from where he sat. That was all I needed from you today. He held a hand to me and helped me stand up from my seat. He took my hand to his elbow while guiding me out. It's going to become a bit chaotic for the rest of the day. Staying in your room will be less of a headache for you and, more importantly, me. Thank you for the warning. Vivere, led in the idle conversation till we reached the edge of the garden. He saw me off with a wave. Took his advice and hunkered down in my room. That had gone better than expected. The next 2 hours trying to stay entertained before being summoned to dinner. Short affair, and the food helped me feel sleepy. Sleep didn't come easily, but it came faster than normal. Not a nightmare, particularly volatile. This time the theme seemed to be literal pain. A knife in the back, a cut to my ankle, a blow to the head. Each memory snapped me away for a few moments, and I fell asleep. Another traitor waited to greet me. And I woke up early and waited for my summons. And that's the good part is I need to save. So we made quite good progress in this one. And it's been close to an hour. So, yeah. So, things are pretty interesting. Not Vivere, but Vivere and Violo really do. Well, at least Vivere is warming up to us more, so maybe, we don't need a rescue. I don't know. Still, I guess that would be nice, but we'll see, I guess, how this plays out, and, yeah. So, this is Sacrarium Pario. Hopefully I pronounced that right. If not, I do apologize. If you're curious about the game, want to play it for yourself, of course, everything will be in the description below. I'm hoping to get closer, well, not closer, wrap it up in the next video. I want to see how this all is going to play out our end. I feel like it's definitely going to be a bit chaotic. In a good or bad way for us or everyone involved. Who knows how this is going to play out. So, pretty excited about that. But I'll just end it here so I don't ramble. So hopefully y'all had a good day, a good yesterday, better tomorrow, and I will catch